Hey guys, it's Paul Johnson with Vintage King Audio, and today we want to discuss reasons for signal loss with wireless microphones, or RF loss, which is radio frequency. The first thing we want to discuss, and the number one thing you need to do every time you have a performance, a church service, or whatever it may be where you're going to use a wireless microphone, you need to take your wireless microphone, open it up, and change out the battery, whether you use rechargeables or a standard alkaline like a Duracell or an Energizer. Make sure you do this every time. I can't tell you how many performances end badly because they didn't change the battery and then the mic stops working and they're just like, oh no, what am I gonna do now? So to stop that problem, just change and put a fresh battery in every time before you start. The next thing you wanna know is we want to keep the transmitter and the receiver in the same room. The transmitter would be this handheld portion right here, transmits your audio to the receiver. The receiver would be generally a box, something like this. Sometimes they look a little different, but this is the AKG version. Transmitter and receiver in the same room. If you have walls, doors, large objects in between, a lot of times they can cause frequency loss. It's harder to get the frequency to go around things. So the third point I want to make, we already discussed keeping them in the same room. You want to make sure that you keep them in line of sight. And when we say line of sight, we mean the antennas. On the transmitter, the antenna is on the bottom. You may not see it, but it's right here. And this actually has internal antennas inside the box. So the receiver, just consider the whole box basically to be the antenna. What you want to do is you want to get this up in the air, above the crowd if at all possible, so that there's nothing stopping your antennas from seeing each other, because line of sight is important. It allows you to go greater distances between the transmitter and the receiver, and ultimately gives you better signal. The fourth thing to do, we've been talking about the antennas on the bottom here and here. I want to talk about using your body to disrupt the signal. People grab the microphone in all kinds of ways, up here, middle, but the worst thing you can do, if you grab the mic at the bottom like that, you are covering up the antenna and you're probably losing about 50% of the signal that's coming out of that antenna. If you have a pigtail on the bottom, sometimes like a little twist off, if you turn it, bend it, or flip it around your finger, you will also lose at least 50% of your RF or your radio frequency. And it can damage the transmission and cause you to have dropouts and problems. Now, as a bonus, we want to talk about one more thing. If none of these things that you tried here that we discussed work, it could be if you have multiple microphones, either they're on the same frequency band and channel, and what happens is in location frequency. So if you have your receiver here and you have a couple of transmitters, whichever one is closer to the antennas is going to be the one that it's picking up. And as you move around, walking, talking, it will pick up other ones and you'll have dropouts. That could be one problem. And the only other thing is if you have a bad cable, it could be cracking, popping, going in and out. If you follow all of these steps, you should be in a good place. If for some reason this does not help you and you're still having trouble, feel free to contact me at paul.johnson@vintageking.com, or just leave a comment below and we'll see if we can get back to you. All right, thanks so much.